What if the greatest fight in boxing history is about to happen? Imagine this. Canelo Alvarez, the Mexican superstar who has dominated the super middleweight category, is being called out by Terence Crawford, one of the most dominant fighters of his generation. Despite the vast physical gap, Crawford, 36, wants to leave an even bigger legacy and has set Canelo as his next opponent. Crawford feels that now is the ideal moment to challenge one of the greatest fighters in history, following an amazing victory over Spence. Canelo, however, who is 3 weight classes heavier than him, has shown hesitation. Is it possible that this historic battle will take place? Crawford's tireless chase has increased the fervor among the fans. Stay tuned, because this battle might be the one that permanently alters the course of the game. Would Crawford pull off the upset, in your opinion? Let's get started. In their battle, Crawford simply destroyed Spence Jr., and it was amazing. Crawford was on fire from the opening of the fight. He controlled each round and stopped Spence in the 9th to end it. He became the only male boxer in history to remain undefeated in 4 separate weight classes after that victory. It was a pivotal point in his career that demonstrated his excellence. The intriguing aspect is that Crawford is now aiming for Canelo Alvarez, who is a much greater opponent. Because of the significant size differential, Canelo is unsure if he will face Crawford. Canelo typically fights at 168 pounds, although Crawford has fought up to 154 pounds. Canelo has stated that he believes that facing a true super middleweight like David Benavidez would have a greater impact on his legacy than defeating Crawford. Crawford, however, isn't giving up. He continues to advocate for the fight, and more people are beginning to request it. Do you believe Canelo should accept the challenge? Canelo handily defeated Edgar Berlanga in their most recent bout.
They gotta stop that fight.
Yeah, he's concerned.
He asked, "Are you awake?"
Yeah, no, he asked, "Are you okay?"
Yeah, he closed his eyes for a bit.
But Berlanga's toughness made headlines. It was Canelo's 5th consecutive bout without a knockout, and despite his dominance, he was unable to finish Berlanga. Supporters are beginning to question whether Canelo's ability to knock out opponents has diminished. Do you believe that Canelo's ability to finish has diminished? Canelo wasn't initially interested in fighting Crawford, but it appears that he's now considering it, if the money is right. Rumor has it that Crawford and his group are prepared to pay Canelo's demands. Given the amount of excitement surrounding the bout, the potential revenue is enormous. Do you believe that Canelo will be persuaded to face Crawford by the large payout? American boxer Terence Crawford was born on September the 28th of 1987 and is well known for his remarkable accomplishments. In addition to becoming the undisputed champion in both light welterweight and welterweight, he has won world titles in 4 different weight classes, ranging from lightweight to light middleweight. As of August of 2024, Crawford also holds the WBO interim light middleweight and WBA light middleweight belts. As the first boxer to hold all 4 major world titles in the light welterweight division since Kostya Tszyu in 2004, Crawford's career reached new heights in 2017. He became the undisputed welterweight title champion in 2023 after repeating this feat. Crawford has established himself as one of the greatest boxers of his day thanks to his commitment and talent. For Crawford, fighting Canelo is the ultimate challenge. Moving up 2 weight classes to fight the Mexican champ would be tough, but winning could make him one of the greatest boxers ever. On the other hand, Canelo has been criticized for avoiding fighters like David Benavidez. Beating Crawford would silence those critics and add even more to his great career. Crawford doesn't let the size difference dissuade him. Crawford boldly called out on social media following Canelo's most recent bout, "Put me in the game, coach." His willingness to confront Canelo is indicated by this blunt communication. Crawford is ready to show himself against one of the best, since he's aware that this is his final opportunity to compete in a fight of this caliber at the age of 37. The largest barrier to turning this battle into a reality is still the financial terms. Al Heyman, Crawford's publicist, is now actively participating in the talks, though suggesting that a deal may be closer than ever. One of the most anticipated bouts in recent boxing history, Canelo's financial demands are still high, but Crawford's team is certain they can satisfy them. Although Canelo has other opponents in mind, such as a defense against younger opponents or a rematch with Dimitri Bivol, a bout with Crawford appears to be the most fascinating choice. Given the weight gap and the huge financial incentives, Canelo's legacy would be enhanced by defeating Crawford. Canelo's camp, though, is still negotiating, so it will be some time before the bout really happens. Notwithstanding the difficulties, there is a growing chance that these two pound-for-pound rulers will engage in combat. This battle would be the perfect legacy matchup for both boxers, who are nearing the twilight of their careers. Canelo's possible acceptance of the fight implies he's prepared to add another famous name to his resume, while Crawford's readiness to face a bigger, stronger opponent in Canelo demonstrates his commitment to excellence. The realization of this ideal match is highly anticipated by fans. Crawford's desire to fight Canelo appears to be motivated by his ambition to establish himself as one of the greatest boxers of all time, as well as the financial considerations. The bout with Canelo would be the ideal opportunity for Crawford's career because it would bring in a significant amount of publicity and pay-per-view. However, the likelihood is still unclear because Canelo is reluctant to engage in combat because of the size disparity and other considerations. Canelo is already getting ready for his upcoming bout with Edgar Berlanga, but what he does next would probably depend on how much any Crawford match would cost. Many think that in order to establish his reputation and secure more lucrative possibilities, Crawford ought to take up-and-coming fighters like Sebastian Fundora, Jaron Boots Ennis, or Virgil Ortiz. Crawford, however, seems only focused on taking on Canelo because he thinks defeating him will solidify his legacy in boxing. Crawford's reputation can suffer as a result, since some believe he is avoiding hard, worthy opponents in order to get the large payout. The prospect of a bout between Canelo and Crawford is still one of the most talked about topics in boxing, despite their individual difficulties and size disadvantage. Although Crawford's abilities are indisputable, taking on Canelo, who is physically stronger, is extremely risky. Although he has already won several divisions, Canelo is among the finest in the sport, and a fight against Crawford may further solidify his legacy. The boxing community is excited to see if Crawford's technical prowess can defeat Canelo's strength and size, and whether the two can square up in the ring to produce a momentous occasion. So, is it possible that Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez will actually fight? This fight would rank among the greatest in boxing history, with both competitors in their prime. Canelo has some reservations, primarily due to the size disparity, but Crawford is eager for the fight and the large payout. But who knows, with so much money at stake, the battle may turn into the huge spectacle that fans have been anticipating for $600 million. What are your thoughts? Will Crawford's challenge be accepted by Canelo? Please share your thoughts in the comments section and remember to subscribe for future updates.